How's it going, everyone? I'm Zfiles, and today I'm going to be showing you the top 5 best Ark mods for PvE and Ark Survival Evolved. So coming in number 5 we have the HG Seed Crafter. So this one is a very useful one. So what this does is it adds the HG Seed Crafter. So that's learned at level 16, so it's pretty easy to get. And what this does is let's do folders for Aberration, Vanilla Ark, just like random stuff, and Scorched Earth. So if you go to Aberration, you can make gem seeds, plant species Z seeds, and all these stuff. These are like mushrooms and stuff. So you can make all these seeds, and you can also make the ones for Ark. So you can even make black pearl seeds, so you can plant black pearls, and you can plant sap, you can plant honey, and you can also plant normal silica pearls. There's a lot more other stuff here as well. I think this is biotoxin. Yeah, you can even plant biotoxin. So I built a greenhouse to show you all of the plants. So they basically just act as normal plants, and you just put them in the crop plots. Doesn't have to be large. Well, some of them need large, but most of them are fine with small. So this one I put crystal in, crystal seed, so it has crystal. So I won't go over all of them, so I'll just walk around to show you. So these ones here, these are the berries, and for some reason they all look the same, but they're different types of berries. So there's quite a lot of stuff, and it's super useful to plant them. There's even this one, the gem seed. It grows all 3 types, so that's super useful, especially for the red gems, because on Aberration they're pretty difficult to get for low levels. So yeah, this is all the seeds. Coming in number 4 is called Water for Ark. So this adds 2 things. It adds the HG Hydrant, which is learned at level 40, and the HG Water Well, which is learned at level 15, same level as the normal water well. So first we'll talk about the hydrant. So this, it's probably one of the most useful things like I've ever seen in a mod if you want to be a crop planter. So over here, which was the number 5 mod, there I put the hydrant here. So you connect the pipes to it, and then you can just connect the taps and everything. So it acts as a water source, and it's super easy to make and everything. So you can even make greenhouses in mountains or wherever you want to. It's also good for Scorched Earth. Then we have the water well. So this, you can access the inventory. That one you can't do that. And you can put in the water canteens and stuff. And it also can be placed anywhere. Coming in number 3 are stack mods. So this isn't one specific mod, but a set of mods. So the one I use is called Stack Me More. I'll link them in the description. So the one I'm using, it allows these materials and much more. These are just for examples. So they can stack a lot higher, and they're also a lot lighter as well. So here it stacks up to 5,000 metal ingots, and it still only weighs 500. So usually it's only like 100 or something that they can stack up to, and each ingot is like 1 weight unit thing. So these mods are super useful, and especially for meat, because then it spoils a lot slower. So when it's in the feeding trough, you don't have to refill it all the time. So there's a lot of options you can have for stack mods. I'll put in the description. I'll put a whole like collection of mods. There's like 15 or something, and all of the mods have different weights and different stack sizes. So here, like how big it can get to. So yeah, they all have different sorts of that, so you can choose what you want. Coming in number 2 is the Awesome Spyglass mod. So this mod, it just adds the Awesome Spyglass. So this is learned at level 7, so you can get it pretty early. It costs the same to make as the normal spyglass. So when you want to equip it, you just click on it. So there's a lot of things that this does. So the first thing is that it outlines creatures. So tamed creatures are in green, and just normal creatures are in white. So I'll just shoot this strike. So it'll try and attack me now, so it'll be red. And they can also be red if they like an enemy one. So this also goes for unclaimed ones. This is just an unclaimed trike. And if the dinosaur's trying to run away from you, then they'll be in yellow. The next thing this mod does is it tells you a lot of information about the creature. You just have to point to it. So if you just go to this wild one, this wild trike, you can see all of their stats, which is super useful, and their health and their torpor. So being able to know their torpor, you can know when they're about to be knocked out. So this way, most of the time you won't accidentally hit them after you've knocked them out already, which happens a lot. And you can also make sure that they're not close to dying. And it even tells you what they need to tame. And this is like, it's not an estimate or anything, that's actually how much they need to tame. So it's even better than like the dodo decks and stuff. And it also tells you their level. So I just go where I can't see the level. You can see the level, their gender, if they're wild or not. So this one is wild. This one would be tamed, as you can see there. And it also tells you if they're tameable and how you knock them out, and how you tame them. The next thing is that you can zoom in with them, which is the same as you can do with normal spyglasses. So you can also see them from pretty far away. It's like if there was a dodo over on that hill, I could probably see it with the outline kind of thing. And the last thing is in the top left corner. It says the direction you're pointing in. That's the first thing it says. So this way is east, southeast, south, southwest, west, northwest, and northeast. So you can see all the directions, so that way you can get around the map easier. And then the next set of numbers is the location. So 1944 is read as 19.44. So that would be the latitude, I think. Just get up my map. Yeah, that would be the latitude. The second one is 41.52, and that's the longitude. So this mod is super useful. It's good to see all these dino stats, where they are and how dangerous they are and everything. And you can also easily locate yourself and others. Coming in number 1 is Structures Plus, or S+. So this mod comes in number 1 because it helps building so much, but it also adds a lot of things, like probably too much things. So if you're not used to like Arc itself, then this will be even more confusing. So probably use this if you're more of an advanced player and know what you're doing. So this mod, it adds tons of things, and I can't cover all of them in this video, or else it'll be too long. I'll try and cover most of the stuff. So first it adds for the ramps, you can switch them to stairs, so they look a lot nicer. And also with the railings, you can turn them into half walls. And I forgot to say, but every vanilla structure, if you just type in S+ here, it has its like S+ counterpart. So you have all of these stuff, so you can make all of these, and they're probably, all of them are probably better than the vanilla version, because you can do a lot more with them. The only reason would be like the foundations, because they look different. First, the foundations can snap, so all the structures plus foundations, they can snap pretty high, and this makes it super easy to build your bases. It doesn't need to be like super flat ground. You don't need to use ceilings and foundations, you can just use foundations. As I said before, each vanilla building has its S+ counterpart, so I'll just go over their foundations. So this is the S+ Tech Foundation, S+ Metal, S+ Adobe, S+ Stone. These two look pretty similar, except for like the sides. I'd say I actually prefer the normal vanilla version of how it looks, but you can stack these ones, so that's super useful. The S+ Wooden Foundation and the S+ Thatch Foundation. It also adds triangle foundations, so this is super useful as well if you want to make paths, if you want to change the shapes of buildings and everything, you can use that for that. Storage boxes can snap to each other, so they can snap high and to the sides. Same for the large storage boxes, but they can't snap high. And air conditioners is just the same as normal storage boxes. Then with cooking pots and finding forges, you can, for the cooking pot, you can disable or enable auto crafting, and the vanilla one is always auto crafting. You can also see all the engrams, so the recipes are useless now, and it also tells you what you need instead of the weird recipes where it says like 1 dollop of narcotics and stuff. So now you can easily make foods. And in the refining forge, it also tells you that. It's not as useful though, because well, you already know most of this stuff, except for the gasoline. That's pretty useful. Next is the S-Class tech translator. So this is only for the S-Class version. You can go to Dynascan, and you can see every creature in the game. It will tell you their level and where they are on the map. But this doesn't work on single player. It has to be on a proper server, or else it won't work. They added a whole new tier called the glass tier, so you can make them completely invisible. So there's a glass foundation here, but it's completely invisible, so it looks like this one is floating. And you can also make them opaque, so that means you can't see through it, so you can change the transparencies of all of this stuff. Same for the walls. That one I made the transparency 0. And also this one is invisible because you can change the model size. Next, doors and gates can auto open, so if you just go up to it, it automatically opens and closes. You can also set the close delay. Yeah, set close delay, so you can have it 1 second, 5 second, or 10 second. Right now it's just 0 seconds, which is no delay. This also works for gates, but it's pretty annoying for beginner's gates because you can be so far from it and it automatically opens. So most of the stuff you'd probably still keep on manual. Next is dynamic gates. So this you can just customize what you want it to look like, and you can also choose the height and width and materials. Next we have this kind of random kind of stuff. They're kind of like workers. So first is the S-Class hatchery. This picks up and fertilizes fertilized eggs, dino eggs. Item collector picks up a bunch of items, so like acatina paste and poo and silica pearls. And then these guys, they all do their special things. And there's all these special turrets. So this is the normal automated turret, well, Structures Plus version. Then we have like the trank turret and the flamethrower. Next is one of the most useful things. So it adds the demo gun. So I just put this in my hotbar. So this has 2 modes. You can just shoot to pick up things, or you could do right click, which makes it demolish mode, and that would make you destroy stuff. And this also works on normal foundations, so the vanilla ones. You can also pick them up and demolish them. So if you ever make mistakes with vanilla, you can also pick them up with demo guns. Next we have the pulling system. So this is one of the most useful things about S Plus, and it doesn't really have to do with building that much because you can use it for lots of things. So it adds these buttons at the top, some extra buttons. So first one we go over is the X kind of looking thing. So when you want to build something, you just click on it, then you can press this. It'll pull the exact amount of resources you need for it, and this you can change the number. This changes the amount of structures you want to pull for. So if I did 9, it would pull 900 stone times 9, 900 thatch times 9, and 900 wood times 9. So it would pull tons of materials in order to make 9 behemoth gateways. I just pulled enough for 1. So it got pulled out of my storage box here. So I just had the resources in here. So it pulled them out of here into here. And the next button, which is also super useful, is this like cloud button. So you click on it, and it has all the items in the game. So what you do, if you want to pull one, you click on it. So I don't have any angler gel, but maybe azul berries. If you want to pull some azul berries, it'll bring up the things that have azul berries that I own. So only my dinos have azul berries, none of storage crates or anything. So once they're here, you can pull the amount you want, or you could just take all, or you could take all from every single dino. So I'll just take it from Piccolo. He's right here in the top left corner. So I'll just take all of his, then it'll be in the Smithy inventory. If you want to download any of these mods, I'll put them all in the description below. And if you guys enjoy this video or find it helpful, subscribing and liking helps me out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.